Hey there, my name is John Siskovich, and I am on my pig pasture shelter that's kind of just sitting mothballed for now. And I got a question from Daniel M. Daniel asked, I mentioned about 2 square feet per chicken in the chicken tractors, but how many square feet per pig makes sense for a pastured system? And that's what we're going to discuss in today's video. Now, here's something that I think if you ask 10 farmers, you're gonna get 10 answers. I asked a few farmers before I shot the video just to get some perspective. Plus, I've been raising pigs for a number of years. I'm not raising pigs this year, honestly, because I have a baby. The brewery needed my time. The pigs, I love them. They'll probably come back next year. But for now, it was more than I could handle when you look at my to-do list holistically. So the pigs, the way I've managed it in the past is that I have 52 acres total here, but 10 acres to that is water elements between the 2 ponds, just about 10 acres, I guess, as a guess. We'll say I have about 14 acres of usable pasture. Some of that pasture and some of the 2 to 3 acre plot that I use for the pigs, I have run pigs on before. I've also been creative about using pigs for property management and getting rid of old hop varieties, using it to till a field and plant a wildflower meadow, which is mildly successful. It depends on what you want to get out of your property. So some case studies wise, I've raised up to 24 pigs, which is not a ton of pigs, but it was a good number balanced with everything else I've done. It was about 24 pigs, 2,400 broilers, about 400 chickens, a 1 acre hop yard, a bunch of forage stuff, and now I have bees. That was pretty much the height of my production here, and now I've been kind of playing with the dials as I figure out what my land carry capacity is. Now with those 24 pigs, I probably ran them on a total of 3 acres. We'll say 2 to 4 acres. And some of that area, depending on our rainfall and where the wetness sits in the property, I had more impact than I would have wished. The pigs stayed there a little bit longer, or it rained before I was able to move them and they just made a mess of the area, because pigs plus rain plus dirt will make a mud puddle. I asked my friend Heather what she thinks her stocking density is on the farm, and she's about 6 pigs per acre, and she feels a little bit too tight with that number. I have a friend in, I think it's Oklahoma. He's in it's Iowa. He's in Iowa. And he raises between 150 to 180 pigs on a total 40 acre property, which whatever math you want to do there, but he also has cows and sheep and does some chickens and rabbits as well. You may know who I'm talking about. So that's a lot. If you want to have a lot of impact on your land and your land recovers very quickly, that's going to adjust your number. If your land doesn't recover quickly, or if you have just a segmented area of forest or woodland, that's going to change your number. If you want them to eat more forage or eat more of your grain, that's going to affect your number. If you have different breeds of pigs, have different impact, where the coon pigs or cooney are better foragers and grazers and have a little less impact, where there's other pigs that just rut and make holes and dig in the ground and will just destroy your piece of property, and then you have to go through and kind of level it if you don't want to designate it just to pigs. With this, to find out the carry capacity, go by the rule of thumb. Let's say 4 pigs per acre is going to be my answer, and just see what your math and your numbers are from there, and you may be able to tighten that up. You may be able to expand that. The way I manage my pigs and my impact, I have 2 fences, and they're about 100 feet each. They're the Premier electric netting that I use for pretty much everything, but they have pig specific, sheep specific, egg layer specific. I don't know that there's broiler specific. You would just use the egg layer fencing, but there's specific fencing for different types of livestock. The pig fencing is about yay tall, about 2-3 feet off the ground, 2 feet off the ground. And comes in 100-foot lengths. And how I manage my rotations is that I put 2 fences side by side, and I put all their infrastructure in that fence. And when it comes time to move them, I put my tractor or ATV in the new area, and I build a new fence. So I actually have 2, I only have 2 hands, but you get the point where I have 2 circles. And then I'll open up the back of the new one and the front of the old one and drive everything from one area to the next. And then I'll close that up. I'll drive my tractor into the old area, close up the new area where the pigs are rooting and finding all the new stuff, and I have moved their shelter, the feed and water into that new area, and then close up the other area, and I'll kind of leapfrog myself down the pasture. Now with two 100-foot lengths, that gives you a 200-foot circumference on your circle, which is about 3,100 square feet of space, and I've put anywhere from 6 to 20 pigs in about that space. 20 pigs is a little too tight, and at that point I added more pieces of fence where I actually went to 4 fencing things, so I would have 400 feet of total fence area, and I don't know what that, well, I guess, I don't know if the circle size square footage is a linear equation at that point, but we'll just say it's 6,000 square feet for 20 pigs, and you can do the math at home from there. But that's how I've managed pigs in the past. I've moved them depending on what else I had going on the farm, what impact I wanted to have on the land, how dirty the pigs got, how beat up the land got. If I wanted to move them a little quicker through an area that I knew was wet, want to leave them longer on an area that I wanted to have kind of bare earth so I could backseed it, I would scrape it flat with a grading blade on the back of my tractor, and then I would seed it. Or if it was just like, you know, you can get to it when you can get to it, and sometimes the pigs go a week and a half, 2 weeks in an area that hopefully is a little bit bigger because you couldn't get there to move them. So all this to say, let's say 4 pigs per acre, and then the YouTube comments section will beat me to death and tell me I was right, tell me I was wrong, tell me what you're doing. The thing I loved about creating these YouTube videos is that I have crowdsourced a lot of my education. There are things that are so specific to my farm that if I told you, it would be complete nonsense that will work for somebody else on somebody else's farm. And when I put up information like this, I get feedback from other people that I find super valuable because it changes my production style and my practices and my perspective on how I see the choices that other people have made. I hope this video makes sense. I hope you enjoyed my process, and I'm gonna let my voice rest and go play with my dog for a while. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Hope the sun is shining as brightly wherever you are as it is here. And until next time, I will see you out in the field.